It's Monday, November 27, 2023. Let me begin by apologizing if you hear any snoring. Nugget is over here on the chair next to me taking a power nap. And when she is out, she is out. But before we get started today, please make sure to like this video. Make sure to like this video, ladies and gentlemen, because it helps with the algorithm. It helps promote this video, promote the message. Make sure you share all of my videos and make sure you subscribe. Now I want to get right into things today. There's a lot to talk about. A lot of things are happening and things aren't as good as everybody is telling you, especially those people wearing the $3,000 suits on television. Why? Now this was an article today that I was reading, and I believe this is from the Wall Street Journal. Why is everyone so unhappy at work right now? And I wanted to start with this first article because last night I went to Ross because I wanted to get some socks. I wanted to buy some socks for the gym. So I went over to Ross, got the socks. I'm checking out, and the young lady who was checking me out, literally somewhat of a zombie, maybe a robot. I mean, just doesn't look at you, just, rings everything up. I go, well, so have things been busy? And she just goes, very, very odd. So has it been busy? She just goes, Unbelievable. I mean, here's another prime example of why people just can't get ahead. Why they're never going to have a career, why they're never going to be successful, why they're going to be stuck with $80,000 plus in college tuition debt because first off, you have no communication skills. A customer asks you, have you been busy? So again, I don't know if this was a zombie, if I was talking to a robot, I have no idea. But, this is very, very common where you go to a store, the service is terrible. You go to a restaurant, the service is terrible. But I will say this, as just an observation while I was in Ross, the racks were filled with clothes, mainly cheap clothes made in China. But you would think, yesterday, after Black Friday, you would think that the store would be somewhat bare. You could not squeeze another piece of clothing on any of these racks yesterday at Ross. They were completely filled with inventory and employees that when you ask them a question go, So what do you think? Why the bad service? To me, I just believe the honeymoon's over. The free money is over. The free ride is over. Now the college tuition repayment has resumed. And these people who chose a career in basket weaving or whatever they chose and paid $80,000 for that degree to hang up on a wall now are working at Ross. They're working at McDonald's. They're working at Taco Bell. They're working at Kohl's. They're working at Marshall's. These are now their careers. And these people hate working. They hate working at these jobs. They liked it when they got benefit checks and unemployment and stimulus checks. They liked it when they didn't have to pay their college debt back. But now that all that's changed, the honeymoon's over, the money has run out. These people now have to go to work, and they've realized that their $80,000 degree means absolutely nothing. It means that you can work at Ross now. So it's terrible because Ross hired this person and they don't really care about their job. The other people working there, they're too busy talking to one another to even ring people up. I could imagine that the theft at that store is out of control because nobody's even paying attention, because nobody even cares, but nobody's even paying attention to what's going on, and they're certainly not paying attention to the customer. And stores like this really deserve to go out of business at some point, because if you're not treated well, you'll take your money and go somewhere else where you are treated well. But what do you think? Comment down below. Why the bad service? These are the new careers now, ladies and gentlemen, in leisure and hospitality, in fast food, working at Ross, working at Kohl's, working at Starbucks, working at McDonald's. These are now careers for people because they're never going to be able to do anything else, especially when you cannot communicate, when you cannot speak, when you just go, you're never going to get ahead in life. You're never going to get a real job. Again, people don't want to work. And one day in this country, I truly do believe people are going to beg for a job. When people begin to go hungry, they'll do anything. They'll put a smile on their face so fast. If you have a good job right now, or just a decent job, I would do everything right now to not lose that job. We are going to see so many people get laid off in 2024. We've already seen it begin this year, and it's going to accelerate into 2024. We're going to see more people. And the people who cannot speak, the people who cannot communicate, the people who don't care about their job, they're going to be the first ones to go. When a customer asks you something and you go, you should be gone. Wolfstreet.com, prices of new houses drop further, 18% year-over-year sales drop. High inventories rise further, supply jumps. This on Wolf Street. Home builders are using a variety of strategies in order to sell new homes. This while the sale of previously owned homes has collapsed because sellers refuse to accept reality. And these people who cannot accept reality are going to continue to chase the market down. And by the time they actually accept reality, they will have cost themselves so much money. The party is over, ladies and gentlemen. This is not 2021. This is not 2022. The real estate party is over. If you're a seller, you better be the best price home on the block to be the next sale. These people are absolutely dreaming. They believe it's going to come back when you have mortgage rates at 7.5% today, and we're told that that's a fantastic deal. You better jump in. This couldn't be any further from the truth. Most people better begin to think about, are they going to have a job 6 months from now? So this is what home builders are doing. They're doing mortgage buy downs. They're building smaller homes. They're de-amenitizing the smaller homes. So they're putting less amenities in the house, and they're putting in free upgrades and things of that nature. They're much more savvy. They're much smarter than the existing homeowner who believes that their home is worth $200,000 more than it really is. The median price of a new single-family home sold in October fell by 3.1% from September to $409,300, the lowest since August of 2021, down by 17.6% from a year ago. Remember, they're not counting the discounts. They're not counting those mortgage buy downs. They're not counting those incentives like, hey, we'll put the extra, we'll do the travertine floors, we'll do the granite countertops, or we'll put in the nice wood doors or the custom garage doors, or we'll do all the landscaping. That they're not including that in the actual contract price. So we don't really know how much these homes are really being discounted. But very, very interesting what is happening right now. Home builders will do what they have to do to sell homes. Homeowners who currently have their home on the market, they're clinging to hope, ladies and gentlemen. They're clinging to hope. They're not able to do mortgage buy downs. They're not throwing in incentives. No, they're just hoping that prices are going to go up. And they're not going to do that. In fact, I still do believe that even though we're watching this huge manipulation of the 10-year bond yield right now, where it was over 5%. Now we're not even at 4.5%, just in a matter of weeks. The Fed is buying up so much of this debt in order to kind of ease things right now. How much longer can this go on? And how much longer can the home builders continue to discount these homes and do these mortgage buy downs and throw in travertine floors and granite countertops and stainless steel appliances and all this? How long can they continue to do this and be profitable? There's a breaking point. Don't buy a house right now. That would be my advice to a family member today. You can do whatever you want to do. I don't give financial advice, but I do sit here and I do think out loud, and I do share with you my thoughts and my beliefs. May not be right. I may be wrong, but I personally would not buy a house today. And if you were sitting here, a guest in my house today, or a family member or a close friend, I would say do not buy a house today. The hedge today. New home sales hammered in October as home builders hit the wall. Prices plunged. They plunged 5.6% in October. Now get this. This is what nobody's talking about. In September, we were told that new home sales soared to 12.3%. That has now been revised down to 8.6%. That's a substantial number, but nobody's talking about the revision. So now, we have sales plunging 5.6% in October and a revision in September from 12.3 to 8.6%. Not good. Here's another one from Newsweek. House prices are falling. Are buyers biting? Existing home sales are down 14.6% year over year. They're down 4.1% month over month. This is a 13-year low in home sales. Here's the problem. In order to buy a house, you have got to have a job. You've got to have, well, you don't even have to have great credit, but the worse your credit is, the higher that mortgage rate's going to be. And people are getting completely priced out here by the high price of homes and the high mortgage rates. And people will say, oh, but 7.5%, that's normal. Yes, that is really a normal rate. What isn't normal is when a house is literally gone up twice its value in 2 or 3 years. That's not normal. When homes are going up 100, 200, 300% in a matter of a few years, that's not normal. And so what caused it? Well, when you have the Fed buying mortgage-backed securities, when you have the Fed cutting rates and you have mortgage rates below 3%, this now has caused a massive bubble in housing. The bubble must burst, ladies and gentlemen, or the middle class is going to be completely priced out of homes and everybody is just going to rent. You're just going to see institutional money buy up these homes and everybody will just rent, or you're going to see home builders begin to go out of business because nobody's going to be able to afford to buy homes. What will happen in all reality is the market is going to adjust. And what will happen is prices will come down. You have too many people getting laid off. You have too many people with broken credit now because they've lost cars. They fall behind on credit cards. They fall behind on rent. People losing homes now to foreclosure. You have lots and lots of people whose credit is being severely damaged right now. So you're going to have less qualified buyers in the housing market. People with good credit, people with a job, people with enough income, people who can qualify. Big trouble coming to housing. We don't even hear anything now about the commercial real estate wreckage that's taking place, which is in an absolute depression. And they're doing everything they can now to make sure that people aren't running to the exits in the housing market. They're doing everything to kind of to squash the fear. The hedge today. Say goodbye to the middle class. Half of all American workers made less than $40,000, $40,800 last year. That's $3,400 before taxes. Somebody please explain to me, when you have half of all American workers making less than $40,000, how in the world do we even have a housing market right now in this country? There's something not adding up here. These numbers, so an average new home is roughly $400,000, and half of all American workers made less than $40,847,000. That's That means the average home or new home is 10 times what the average middle class worker is making. This is unsustainable. This does not make any sense whatsoever. And this doesn't make sense either. Consumers use buy now, pay later option to fund record Black Friday purchases. Online sales of Black Friday reached $9.8 billion, up 7.5% from the previous year. Consumers have been gobbling up electronics, smartwatches, TVs, and audio equipment. Sales of these products are up 7.5%. Let me say this. I was watching some videos today, people walking through Best Buy. I have never seen so many TVs. This is after Black Friday. The TVs didn't sell. There was literally walls of big screen TVs at Best Buy. Maybe if I have some time this week, I'll go by my local Best Buy and see what's going on, but the TVs did not sell. So apparently, according to this article, electronics were up, way up, and people are gobbling up TVs and smartwatches and electronics and all this stuff. But they're using buy now, pay later. And Fox Business today, I believe, buy now, pay later, people using buy now, pay later this year, it was up like 18.8% compared to last year. Now, buy now, pay later, these are basically subprime borrowers, people who really can't even get a credit card, people who have so much debt that the credit card companies will not give them a credit card, but they can get a buy now, pay later. Now, this is interesting. 40% of buy now, pay later users are missing payments. 27% use buy now, pay later as a bridge loan until they get their next paycheck. And we're being told that the economy's doing just fine and the housing market is doing great and you should go buy a house today. So the American worker making 40 grand a year and people using buy now, pay later plans in order to buy electronics and holiday gifts. Really unbelievable, isn't it? It just gets better. Here's another one on the hedge today. 25% of Americans are still paying off 2022's holiday debt. More than 1 in 3 Americans are foregoing gifts this year due to inflation. Nearly 1 in 4 still have holiday debt from last year. 1 in 5 people will apply for a new credit card to help with holiday shopping. That is financial suicide right there. Nearly half of Americans say their charitable giving is affected by inflation. More and more difficulty now for people who need help, who aren't going to get help because that middle class is shrinking. The people who, once had some extra money don't have that extra money. They can't be as charitable. 28% of people will spend less than last year for holiday shopping, it says here. But according to what we're reading, we're looking at record-breaking sales online. But here it says that people are spending less. So, really, when you read this stuff, you got to decipher it. Like, do you really even believe the data now? Are we supposed to believe that more people are spending money on this holiday than the past couple holidays? I find that hard to believe when people are making less money, when real wages are going down and inflation is not going away. I find it hard to believe. 23% plan to make a purchase based on social media, of course. Here's another one today on the hedge. 64 U.S. bank branches filed to shut down in a single week. Are you affected? Have you been affected by any of these bank shutdowns? I've seen a lot of banks out here in the desert that have been sitting empty for years. They've shut down years ago. We just recently had a Wells Fargo 2-3 weeks ago shut down. Bank of America, PNC, Chase closing more branches. Is it affecting you? Comment down below. Between November 12th and 18th, several banks filed to close several branch locations. Now, this is going to be an inconvenience for a lot of people. I think it's also reminding us that there are big problems in the banking system. And it's probably another reminder of why you shouldn't have all your money sitting in a bank. And this is going to be another problem too, because what about the people that work at these banks? Don't they own homes? Don't they pay rent? Don't they have bills? Don't they have car payments? What are they going to do as the banking sector continues to shrink? How are these people going to pay their bills? How do they make their mortgage payment? This is going to be more problems for not just the housing market, but for the entire economy. And think about the tax base too, when these banks close and leave these vacant buildings behind. Some of the banks out here that have closed, they're pretty large buildings and they've been sitting empty for years. So this is going to be another hit to the economy, and it is not going to do any favors for the housing market because you're going to have more people unemployed. And when you don't have a job, you don't qualify to buy a home. I want to close with this last article today, also from the Hedge. And we saw gold today was up about $12. I think we're at about $2,030, $2,035, somewhere around there. Basically, we're $30 to $40 from the all-time high in regards to gold prices. And to the people out there that just said, "Oh my goodness, I'm taking huge losses in gold. I shouldn't have bought gold." I don't know anybody that's lost money on gold. I mean, I bought gold back 2013 on $1,100, $1,200. I don't even remember. And here we are now. It's up almost $1,000 from then. And I didn't buy gold to flip and make a quick buck or to make money in 6 months or a year. I bought gold as wealth protection. And I bought gold for uncertain times. And if you believe that we're heading into more uncertainty, then you should probably own some gold. I don't give financial advice. You can buy Pokemon cards, you can buy stocks, you can buy cryptos, you can do whatever your heart desires. But I'm sharing with you what I'm doing. Economic and geopolitical uncertainties will only drive the price of gold higher, and silver will come along for the ride. Silver now over $25 an ounce. But to the soft hands out there, the weak hands out there that go, "Oh my gosh, gold is, it's going down, it's going down, I have to sell." I'm sorry you sold, because now we're literally $30 from the all-time high and nothing has even broken yet. Don't buy gold to make money, ladies and gentlemen. You buy gold to protect yourself in the worst of times. Chinese demand for gold bars and coins came in at 82 tons in the third quarter of this year. That is a 16% increase year over year. Investors are looking in China for a safe haven asset. Gold demand was up 7.3% year over year. They are buying enormous amounts of gold. Their citizens are buying, and their central bank is buying massive amounts. China holds more gold than any other country on the face of the earth. What does China know? Why is China buying up and stockpiling so much gold? And why does Saudi Arabia love gold? Why is Russia, India, why are all these countries buying up so much gold? Why are the majority of central banks across the globe stockpiling gold? Why? You have to ask yourself that. Gold is never going to zero. That is a fact. That is a 5,000-year fact. So me personally, I'm always going to be adding, if you need a reliable place to buy gold, SD Bullion, my link down below, check it out. I've been buying from them for 5 years. I know that that's going to horrify people, that I have a link down below, that I buy gold from SD Bullion, that I recommend people buy gold from SD Bullion. I do that because I don't want to see people ripped off. There's too many cons out there. There's too many unreliable sources out there that you can get ripped off at. And I've had a great relationship for 5 years, mainly because a lot of you recommended them to me 5 years ago, and they've been great. And I've had a great relationship with them. So SD Bullion, link down below if you need gold. And if you have a reliable place that you buy from, then I'd be buying more. Again, this isn't financial advice. I'm just sharing with you how I'm doing things, what's working for me, and why I think it's important. This is the time to hold real things that you can get to. Too many people right now are still under this mentality of gambling, that they're just going to continue to gamble. I think I would be a little bit more defensive right now, especially when you look at geopolitical events, the wars, Taiwan, political events shaping up right here in this country, financial events, the banking system and the fragility and weakness of our banking system, and of course, the US dollar. If you think everything's going to be okay, if you think that 2024 is going to be an incredible year, then hey, buy bonds, Buy stocks, buy cryptos, buy Pokemon cards, buy whatever your heart desires. I look at it a little bit differently. I see it differently. And I know most of you do too. I don't think 2024 is going to be a cakewalk at all. I think 2024 is going to be a very, very rough year for a majority of Americans. And I think it's going to be a very bumpy road for the economy. A lot of uncertainty out there. And I think we're going to begin to see some really big economic events unfold in 2024. And we've seen things happen already this year, but nothing has really broken yet. But there has been too much money printed. Rates stay too low for too long. There's too much manipulation with the Fed in these markets, buying bonds, manipulating the bond market. There's just too much manipulation in the stock market, period. The commercial real estate market has absolutely crashed, and they're not even talking about it. The housing market is going to crash also. And when the consumer runs out of credit cards and they're maxed out and they can't buy stuff at Kohl's and Ross, and Walmart and Target, then those corporate profits are going to take a huge hit. And it's going to be very, very hard to manipulate that and hide that. The health of the U.S. consumer is on life support at this point. And as far as I'm concerned, the health of the U.S. economy is also on life support too. And its health is going to continue to get worse. They can only manipulate it so much longer, ladies and gentlemen. The question is, when you wake up one day and you realize that things have officially crashed, and we're going to see maybe bank runs, bail-ins. You're already seeing stores all over the country lockdown. You can't even get razor blades. You can't get mouthwash, toothpaste without pressing a button and getting somebody over there to unlock the cage to give you your toothpaste. It's already going on lockdown. We're going to see a time where the grocery stores are going to be on lockdown. The meat department will be on lockdown. And it's going to be a very, very scary time here in America, where if you think the crime is bad now, wait till you see what is coming. As inflation continues to creep up and people who especially are on limited incomes, their purchasing power is already been destroyed, but it's going to get even more destroyed. And when people go hungry and their kids go hungry, they're going to do things they never thought they would do. And right now, you're looking at people committing crimes for fun and entertainment. What will those people do when they're hungry? This is what you're going to be dealing with. It's not just going to be a financial downturn. It's also you're going to see a social downturn. And if you haven't already noticed that happening, I don't know where you've been. But I've never seen society in America so out of control, so violent, so disrespectful. I've never seen anything like this. And my question to all of you is, and I'll leave it at this, comment down below, what does society look like when it begins to get hungry? Have a good day. Be safe out there. Make sure you're working out. Make sure you keep your head on a swivel. Make sure you're training. And make sure you have those defensive skills. And make sure you have security, ladies and gentlemen. Be grateful for everything you have. Thank God for another day of life. Thank God that you have the ability to continue to absorb knowledge and prepare. And continue on that path. Don't get complacent. God bless every one of you. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I look forward to speaking with each and every one of you.